Alright everybody, hopefully you can hear me. I've got slow mode off because I'm doing a game. I keep forgetting to turn it off normally, but it's off at the moment. I'll start playing this in a bit. As this is Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, it's not very long, so I might play it through twice on the stream. We'll see how long it takes. I'll turn the volume down a bit, because otherwise that's going to be louder than my voice. Right, and I need to remember to turn my phone into portrait mode as well. Otherwise, it's going to keep getting rid of the chat when I actually want to read what you're saying. And if anybody's interested, as of tomorrow, if it comes on time, I'm getting a decent desktop microphone, so when I do streams I should have much better audio quality than this one. Well, I don't know, because ever since I was doing the videos on the Novichok stuff, I'm getting like 5 or 6 nearly identical spam messages per day where people are saying like, I'm a Russian agent, I'm a Russian shill, Theresa May knows what's best for Britain. And I think 6 to 9 people get arrested now for hate crime in the UK, which is basically thought crime. So if you teach your pug to do a Hitler salute, you might go to prison. What do you mean, could you show 1 or 2 of these comments quickly? Oh, do you mean the ones I've done? Those ones I've just blocked. When people start doing these like insulting comments, I just block them. I haven't bothered print screening or anything like that, so you can believe me or not believe me. But yeah, I do get several nearly identical comments per day now. I mean, do you have any proof it's the Russians? Because this is the whole thing with me. I basically said I'm going to sit on the fence about this until there's definitive proof either way. And then all of a sudden, you know, hello to everyone. Then all of a sudden it's, you know, you're a Russian agent, you're a Russian shill because you're not immediately believing the UK government. Right, hello everybody. Well, I might as well start this stream now. So, as I was saying, I'm going to play Half-Life 2 Lost Coast. This isn't very long because it was basically a free download of cut content from Half-Life 2, and it's kind of a tech demo. I mean, there's not many games that do actually have proper gas mask mechanics in it. I mean, Metro, as much as I complain about the filters running out really fast, you know, at least does something. You know, you do have to replace the filters. I have a feeling when I played, it's the Penumbra Black Plague, isn't it? There's a bit where you need to get a gas mask to progress, but other than that, you know, there's not actually much need to do it. I don't think there's many games I've played that do have actual gas mask mechanics other than people wearing gas masks randomly. There's that bit in Black Ops, isn't there, where you can't get shot enough times or whatever because then your NBC suit breaks and you die during that Ascension Island mission. Right, I'm going to need to turn the sensitivity down because this is really high. Let's try it on 4. Don't know, it might have mouse acceleration on. Let's have a look. Yeah, I need raw input on, that's why. That's better. You're not late, you've missed about less than 1 minute of gameplay footage, and gameplay me wandering around the beach. But I know they tarted this up a little bit, and it's a tech demo, but doesn't Half-Life 2 look great, a game that will be 14 this year? I think it's November, Half-Life 2 came out in 2004. Yeah, at the weekends I normally do 2 videos, one at 1 PM, one at 5 PM. And yeah, I'm going to try streaming now and again when I've got the time. I was saying to people earlier in the chat, I've got a decent microphone coming. tomorrow, if it arrives on time. So when that microphone comes, I should be able to do much better audio quality on these streams, because I won't be using a webcam or a headset mic. I'll have a proper desk microphone. Condenser mic, whatever they're called. Can you not hear the game? So can you not hear the game? Because if not, I'll just see if I can fix that. It's turned desktop audio off. There we go. Thanks for letting me know. Right, can you hear that now?
Go on through, lad.
Right, is there audio for all the people who were saying there wasn't audio now?
Hurry, lad. Get up the path.
Fallout player, it sounds like you've probably got the old Israeli one. Is it the same as the Nokia sort of M61 and the American M9 masks? Because I think at one point Israel did use that before they went to the M15 and everything. Alright, Mike. Yeah, apparently people had told me they couldn't hear, and it was because I think the mixer had the game have no audio on. There's no grenades in it. Yeah, I must be a Russian spy and a Russian traitor, obviously. The funny thing is, when I did that video where I joked about being a Russian spy, I actually had some people who are obviously Russian get very insulted by that video and start insulting me back. Because they were upset. Apparently they thought I was making fun of Russia with that video, even though I'm making fun of everybody who blames Russia anytime anything happens. Because like I've said, there's probably a lot of stuff Russia has done, but, you know, you can't blame Russia for everything with no proof. Because that's obviously what a lot of the governments like to do. Right, see ya. Nope. I was looking at my phone to see the game chat, and then, or the stream chat, and then all of a sudden he comes around the corner. Pistols aren't very good against the combine soldiers. Oh, there goes his grenade. Alright, see ya. Oh, everything I already said. See ya when you left before. Ah, didn't get any more shotgun ammo. Right, essentially no ammo for this. The AI is broken a bit there, because it's not coming around the corner to get me. I imagine there's another one maybe around here somewhere. Oh no, not there. Right. The English box respirator is the one they replaced the PH gas hoods with it. It's basically a very early respirator that actually uses a box filter, rather than, you know, like chemicals soaked into a hood. No, I don't play roleplay on Gary's mod. I've played a lot of zombie survival on Gary's mod, and other stuff like that, but Trouble in Terrorist Town as well, but I don't play roleplay things on that. There's also the corrected box respirator, which is like the American version of the English box respirator. But it's, yeah, named the box respirator because of the, I bet that's too far away for the gravity gun to pick up that med kit, isn't it? Let's go have a look. Ah, that's a shame. Might have been a grenade, actually, just dropped there. If you just simply look up a tutorial on YouTube, what's the program I'm using? I think it's called something like OBS Studio. I can post in a bit what the program I'm actually using is. But there's lots of tutorials on YouTube people have done on how to set that up for streaming. But it's free software that works fine. You can record games with it and everything, so you don't need to buy a program like Fraps. You can just do it with that. That's alright, I'm going to keep trying to do like lighter videos and things now and again, but obviously I can't do too many of those because most people only watch the gas mask videos. So that's why I normally do them at 1 PM sort of on the Saturday or Sunday time, when that's not normally time when I do the other videos. What suit are you on about in Half-Life 2? Do you mean the HEV suit? It's basically just power armor. What do you mean by a fire steel burn test? I've done videos before setting things on fire with a fire steel, but you can't do much else with them. They're just simply for lighting fires. That box isn't going to fit in there, is it? Was it a grenade I have to chuck in there? Not a grenade. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not expecting anybody to donate. If people want to donate anyway, there's a link to my Patreon in the description, and that's actually probably a better way to support me in terms of like the amount of money I'd get from it. Yeah, that's broken it. I'm pretty sure gas masks can be sold in America. Maybe the Russians put him up to saying that. I still haven't got a, oh, there's a road. quite a lot of these soldiers. I'll try and get some more health before leaving here, that's why I'm not immediately just trying to run for it. Alright, is that finally all of them? Is Entropy Zero the one where you play as the Metro Cop? I'm pretty sure I've played that. I've picked up those health kits down there. Where's that gunfire coming from? Oh, there's one in the window over there, isn't there? Right. He's not going to pop out now I've got the crossbow out. There he goes. Yeah, I was having a look all throughout today to see if Jack went live, but I guess he didn't in the end, Mike. I actually went out in the garden. I didn't film it, but I was shooting my regular bow today. Well, say the regular one. It's the one that's nearly as tall as me. I got from Decathlon. That's a 28-pound giant recurve. That was quite fun, but it wears your arms out quite quickly because of all the draw strength of it. So it's not quite a longbow, but almost a longbow. It's quite a good bow for what they charge for it. I think it was only about 30 quid. And assault shoes, yeah. Alright, let's fight the hunt chopper then. I wonder if there's any health up here. No, I hope there is. Yeah, it's got a bit of health, but not very much. Oh, did I bring my own rocket back at me doing it? Oh, it's a bad place to get a quick save. Or quick load where it's... Ah, so there is one that was actually on the roof. That makes sense. That must have been the one that was shooting me before where we could spot where he was. Oh, it's two up there.
Ammunition depleted. Ammunition depleted.
You can watch it on 144p quality then. Pretend it's a PS1 game. I suppose PS1 though is probably 360p or 480p. Right, okay, let's save it here, so when I have to fight the chopper I've got a bit more of a chance that I've taken all that health, yeah. Right, so I do get a health kit as soon as that chopper turns up. Now I'm hoping he comes back closer in, because that's when it's easier to hit. Yeah, the problem with this bit, I'll just have a bit of my cup of tea because I don't want to let that go cold because cold tea is disgusting. But, yeah, I think the bits in Half-Life 2 where you're fighting the sort of gunships are probably the least fun bits in the entire game. Because obviously, you have to get the rocket in underneath it, or on any side without it hitting you. But because I made the mistake of playing this on hard, because it's only a short bit, it just does insane damage to you every time you stick your head out, and there's not really any health kits around here. I mean, is that one up there? Let's, okay, that's a bit more health. Now I need more rockets again. It's weird because it seems like the safest thing to do is just sit behind the ammo crate. I don't know where it obviously know where it is at the moment where it is. Hit me that time though. Oh, have I got him? Or is he coming back? Oh no, I think he's coming back. Keep the lid open. My foolproof plan of blocking it with the lid. Oh, there we go. Alright, Peach. Now, I can't remember if there's more Combine soldiers now, or if it's just literally dropping down. Oop. This is where I really need to play as the Rift at some point, because this is where you really get vertigo doing that. Okay, Gmod's only like £5, isn't it? It's really cheap. For the amount of effort and stuff you get out of Gmod for the price, it's really good. Well, not effort, but you know what I mean. Like, value for money. Gmod's great.
You did it, lad. Come on with me to St. Olga. We'll celebrate this victory with a feast. I hope you like leeches. Hey, where you going? You're getting fuzzy around the edges. Well, I guess you got other places to be. Nice knowing ya.
The Imco is probably my favourite lighter. Right, we'll do this again because, like I said, Half-Life 2 Lost Coast isn't very long. The stream's been on less than half an hour and I've already finished it. So we'll do a new one. We'll do it on normal this time because it's a bit less frustrating with the helicopter at the end. We'll have the commentary off because I'm doing a stream. I'm not sure, can you actually just go onto the Steam store and get Lost Coast for totally free? Because I know I got it ages ago because it was like something where if you had a certain graphics card or like an AMD card or something at the time, they were giving out the keys for it for free. It was like, thanks for getting our card, but I'm pretty sure this is free, or at least is bundled in packs if you buy the other games. Ah, cool, yeah. You'll like the Gladius when it comes. Hopefully they've done a good job sharpening it, because my Gladius is almost over-sharpened. It was like shaving sharp, which was great to begin with, but then it blunted really quickly, and it's quite hard to put a new edge on it.
Hey, you there? Wait a minute now, aren't you? You are. You're that scientist chap, Friedman, Fishman, am I right? You must be here to take on the Combine. Not sure what one man can do, but no other reason to visit St. Olga at a time like this.
I don't know if they officially update Gmod, but there's pretty much an unlimited amount of content for Gmod. Is that a Lovecraftian version of Gordon Freeman, Gordon Fishman? Oh, I'm going to take the boat up the cliff if that boat doesn't break.
Here, now, let me just unlock this gate for you.
I don't know if I've seen a Cossack Sword Cold Steel do, but somebody was telling me that, I think it's Blades UK, it was when we were in Mike's stream yesterday, that's currently... Oh, I can use the harpoon.
Destroy that gun and no dawdling.
But I'll use this. They were saying that the, on Blades UK, and I did have a look, the 1796 Sabre is currently like 200 quid or so, which is a great price for it. I mean, I can't justify spending that, but... Alright, let's get that spear.
Get along now, laddie. Destroy that gun.
Harpoon. Oh, didn't do much, did it? Let's try again. Oh, now it did. Bethesda don't really make good games anymore. What was the last good game Bethesda made? Morrowind, probably. So, no, Bethesda isn't really relevant. I mean, they're still making games if you want to play crap. Because they did the really bad VR version of Skyrim, didn't they? And Fallout 4, where it's apparently almost unplayable. I mean, jet lighters are probably the most practical lighters, but I do like liquid fuel lighters like Zippos and the IMCO. I think it really depends, do you want to keep refilling it, how often do you want to do that? Because if you don't want to refill it and just want to leave it and forget about it, like jet lighters are really good. If you want a, you know, lighter you can keep using. And yeah, I'd obviously say a butane one, but in terms of, like cool factor, I like IMCOs and Zippos more, I'd say. I'm never sure what they are. This one now. I might as well just leave those ones there because they're not going to be able to come up and get me. let's get the stuff that was over here again. Like the Thunderbird inserts for the Zippos, I've never really seen the point of that, to be honest, because the way I look at it, if I wanted to get, you know, a butane lighter, I wouldn't get a Zippo to do it. But each to their own. Gravity gun this again. I like the old Star Wars films, I don't like the new Star Wars films very much. Can I actually leave the church at this point? No, I'm locked in. Yeah, I don't know which point you went downstairs, Mike, but I finished this, so I ended up just restarting it again on normal, because Lost Coast's only like half an hour long, because it's like a tech demo thing. Assuming the Combine probably don't come in until I kill the head crabs. Oh, shit. Oh, I actually got killed by a poison head crab for once. Oh, so the soldiers do come in before you finish killing the head crabs. Oh, so that when the head crabs poison them, it also does work on the soldiers, doesn't it? It's good to know. Oh, that helicopter's gonna shoot at me, isn't it, if I stand there? Right, probably a bad idea, isn't it? Staying out here with the gunship around. Right, I'll check the comments in a minute. I can see people asking me questions. What I'll do is, because there's not very long left in this, we'll do a quick Q&A type thing once I've finished playing this bit. Still one on the roof somewhere. I wonder if you actually can bring the chopper down here, because that'd be quite easy considering it's focusing on something else. but I bet it probably doesn't take damage until you get to the later bit. There's lots of servers in Gmod, if that's what you mean when you say lobbies. Let's save that here. We'll do the same trick again of just sitting behind a box, seeing as that works better than doing anything fancy. That's a lot easier doing that on normal. Right, so in a second, because I'm right near the end of this again, I'll just start reading and answering your questions. And if anybody didn't catch it from earlier, as of tomorrow I've got a much better microphone arriving, so whenever I do streams, whether it's with a webcam or just playing games, I should have much better audio quality when I'm talking. So I ended up going for one that was a bit out of the budget I really wanted to spend on it. It was about 50 quid, but it should be quite a good one, because it's one of those blue ones. I think it's the blue snowball I went for. What happens if I jump out of it here? Do I still fade out at the same point? Or do I have to go speak to the fisherman?
You did it, lad. Come on with me to St. Olga. We'll celebrate this victory with a
does it
feast.
as usual.
I hope you like leeches. Hey, where you going? You're getting fuzzy around the edges. Well,
Right, okay,
I
let's
guess
scroll
you've
up
got
to
other
where
places to be. Nice knowing you.
Vladimir, if you haven't seen Deadwood, I definitely recommend Deadwood, although Deadwood never got finished. All three series of Deadwood are absolutely excellent. I quite like Boardwalk Empire. Currently watching through all the Red Dwarf because a few people have recommended that to me and I'm really enjoying Red Dwarf. The reason I like Flecktarn a lot is because it actually looks like you're sort of looking through leaves rather than it being just a disruptive pattern. And Flecktarn's good because where it's got the smaller dots in sort of colour patterns, it means when you get further away it does work like a disruptive pattern, splodge pattern. Because there are some camos that don't look any different from further away and then it just becomes obvious there's a person there. Cool, what kind of riot helmet did you get, Curious Husky? Is it like the British riot helmets, or is it just a various other kind of riot helmet? But yeah, M9 style masks like the M1 would work fine with most riot helmets, I'd imagine. The actual thing that's also nice about Flecktarn is it's cut from really nice material. If you get the Flecktarn trousers, they're really comfortable. They're actually quite thick as well, so they don't rip easily like the British Army trousers do. But it's made from that kind of, it's almost like moleskin type of cotton, isn't it? Where it's just the right percentage of cotton compared to some of the other materials. That Flecktarn is really comfortable. When you say the red might ruin it, do you mean with Flecktarn? The red in Flecktarn's very good because it's kind of this browny red, which looks like kind of autumn leaves, and it looks like a lot of shades of mud do. I'm surprised the M1's nose doesn't get in the way of the right visor, though. Okay, you're going to do a £40 prod on it then, Mike, when you do the thing? Because that means it would only be like £20 actual draw weight, wouldn't it, when you use the mechanism on it? But it would actually be really quick to load and shoot. I think that would be quite good with £105 actually, or that sort of £100 area prod. Because then it would only be like £50 of strength required to cock it. It would cock evenly. And that would still be, you know, powerful enough. If somebody will film it with me, I'll actually do some infrared camouflage tests at night, sort of testing if I'm walking around in the dark with camo on, and somebody's using an IR scope, how quickly it takes them to spot me. But at the moment I'm waiting for, you know, like the trees to actually grow some leaves again so I can do some different tests, because otherwise it's still going to, you know, look really similar. If I do them now, it'll look like just the last winter one I did. I think there are Gore-Tex Flecktarn bits, but I've got like the Gore-Tex Flecktarn coat, but the regular trousers aren't Gore-Tex, they're just kind of a cottony material. If I can get optics that would be useful for my stuff, then maybe, but at the moment I don't really have any need for more scopes or anything. The thing I think with the £105 prod mic is that it would actually be really practical in just like in terms of not too hard to cock, and it has enough power that it's actually a useful crossbow. I found with the £40 prod on my crossbow that up to 20 yards it's alright, but you know, even at less range than that you can actually often get the arrows or bolts drifting quite a bit because they lose energy quite quickly. But at 10 yards sort of range, £40 crossbow would still be very effective. I don't think multicam's overrated at all. I really like the British MTP, which is the DPM variant of multicam, because the colours are really sort of effective. The thing is with multicam sort of camouflages is the colours don't stand out anywhere. I found with a lot of camos there will be places that they should work in, and then the camo colours just are a bit too contrasty or not right. Multicam, sort of the brown and greens in multicam, because they're quite pale, don't stand out anywhere. Again, there's camos that would be more effective than multicam in certain places, but they don't actually, you know, ever stand out. So multicam's one of those camos where you could probably put it on and use it anywhere, but it wouldn't be as effective as some camouflages in certain places. Yeah, if you've got the £105, I'd just say do that, Mike, especially because saying £105 is, I think around £100 is where you get the sweet spot with crossbow prods, where they're not too hard to cock, but you get a lot of energy out of them. Because it's like £175, I think, is a bit too powerful for a lot of use. Like I said, especially with the compounds, but even just for cocking it, they're hard to cock, and you don't really need that power. £150 is like the very high end I think you'd want with crossbows, and then, obviously, power under that is, if I do the stress test, if I turn VSync off, if I've got VSync on, is VSync on? Yeah, let's turn VSync off. And what I want to see is if I do a stress test in this, what FPS I get, because obviously Source Engine games do not use much performance up at all. Don't think we get chicken tendies here in the UK. Generally, I have people who dislike all my videos, like people who subscribe just to dislike, or maybe it's the UK government. I really don't care, to be honest. I think it's quite sad. It doesn't affect me at all. My like to dislike ratio is normally always more than 10 to 1 on most videos anyway. But I've noticed that on a few people's things that they actually get so I'm also getting a bit of stuttering, sort of screen tearing now, because this is running at 170 frames per second, 180 FPS. Not going over 200 FPS now. Just got off eBay. You can get Serbian army berets and all the things like that off of eBay. Yugoslavian. Oh, it's a Yugoslavian era one, I think, the green one. 280 FPS. See, look how well optimized Half-Life 2 is. It runs absolutely great. Yeah, as I'm saying, I'm just blocking people if they start insulting me and all that. I just block them. I don't bother keeping the comments to laugh at them. They just get blocked. Yeah, I have the same thing, Mike, where sometimes my videos don't get dislikes for ages, and then somebody comes along and dislikes all of like the ones I put up in a week at once, like the person's forgotten to do it. I had somebody earlier who was saying something like, he left an abusive comment, so I blocked him, and then he said, how can you be pro First Amendment in the US if you don't let me put my abusive comments on your videos? I thought, that's you being a prick. That doesn't affect the thing that you shouldn't be arrested for saying stuff at a sort of nationwide country level, but that doesn't mean you can put whatever you want on my videos. It doesn't quite work out the same way, does it? Sort of false equivalence fallacy. Chicken nuggets are alright. I suppose it depends where you get them from. McDonald's ones can sometimes have bone in and aren't that great. I mean, they're good for like a party sharing box, I guess. But yeah, so Half-Life 2 seems to run anywhere between 170 FPS and the odd 200 FPS for me. So, you know, it's a shame they can't go back to doing this where you can actually run games like this on a toaster, but they still look nice. Look, your average frame rate during the stress test was 252.73 FPS. Yeah, I'll submit that if they want it. Oh yeah, I do like KFC. Yeah, the stream won't go on for too much longer just because I was saying I've already played Lost Coast 2 through twice now. When it gets a bit darker, I might go out and see if I can film some more stuff with my night vision if anything interesting happens, but I'm saying now they've moved the clocks forward an hour or backwards an hour however they've done it, so you know, it's like the time says it's an hour later than it really is. It's a bit annoying, the sort of summertime stuff for trying to go out when it's dark. I played hard difficulty at the beginning. I think the Canadians probably use the British style helmet still, did they, or the American M1 helmets? I'm from Oxford area. Don't know if GCHQ's watching, to be honest. Might be. But then this video is not about anything to do with Russia, is it, or the government? I can't remember if I said earlier in the stream, Mike, but I did a video that I filmed today, but it won't be on for like another week because I work about a week in advance with, what's it? Trying to think what it was, where we were talking about on your stream the other day with sort of useful things you could use a gas mask for. I tried to come up with a list of all the everyday things you could use it for, like using disinfectants and bleach and sanding and all that sort of stuff. I think everybody's eventually going over to Pornhub now, because Pornhub's trying to compete against YouTube by being less oppressive. Quite a few gun channels are already on there now. But I think what they're doing, where they're doing a safe for work section of it's actually a good idea. But personally, I think what they should do is, like, use their servers, but give the domain a different sort of bit of the thing, so people are more likely to think of it as a safe for work thing. So really, I'd think they should call it Video Hub or something like that, and then obviously you can just go on Pornhub if you wanted to wank. But you know, I think that's a good idea on competing, but I think they'd actually have to properly do a safer work section if they want to seriously do it. Don't really have any more spooky stories, no. I think I've said things. Valve actually did say recently that they're going to start making games again, but whether or not they make Half-Life or they can even make another good Half-Life still waits to be seen, because a lot of the people have already left Valve that worked on the Half-Life games. Don't know what game I'll stream next. I'm just trying to think. Now I've sort of played most of Half-Life 2 and I did Lost Coast because that was a good standalone thing. I'll have to think of another game. I could always stream some more Stalker at some point, but I wouldn't mind just streaming a random game that maybe people aren't too familiar with, because then people can see like games they might not have played otherwise. I might at some point stream some Stronghold Crusader, because that's actually my favourite sort of RTS game ever. Nah, I haven't got any interest in Metro, I've said this all the time, but I'm not into cinematic shooters. So, I don't think the Metro games are bad, but I'm not really their target audience. I actually bought Minecraft and I've barely played it, because it's one of those games where I'll make a little base so I can survive from all the enemies, and I get bored because I don't find the crafting system very interesting. Yeah, no problem, Punisher. It's just a lot of people keep suggesting that every time I do a stream, and then I have to explain to them that I don't think it's the best game for streaming, and I don't really enjoy the Metro games enough that... Yeah, I could try and find some absolute crap to play, I guess, and we could have a laugh at it. But I'll have to have a think. I'll look through my Steam library and see if there's anything funny. But yeah, I'll have to have a think. Yeah, you can see me die over and over and over and over and over again if I played Hotline Miami. I used to be alright at it, but I'd have to actually properly get back into it to play Hotline Miami again. Which Call of Cthulhu? I've played the old Bethesda one, Dark Corners of the Earth. That would have been good if they'd finished it. There's a couple of other games with Cthulhu in, isn't there? And like some of the Lovecraft stuff, but I can't think of any jumping out at me. I can't actually remember there being a difficulty selector in Hotline Miami 2. I thought it was just that you played the game on the regular difficulty, unless they then added like an even harder difficulty somehow. I don't think I have Manhunt on Steam, but I wouldn't be very good at that, to be honest, because a lot of Manhunt is just waiting in the shadows, isn't it, for somebody to patrol near you so you can kill them and then go back to standing in the shadows again. Yeah, I did complete Half-Life, not Half-Life Miami, Hotline Miami 2, but I obviously didn't notice that after I finished it. Yeah, but then it would be a really bad third game. I have not played any of the Assassin's Creed games past the first few. I think they're a very overrated series in my opinion. I've got mouse and keyboard, if you can hear this. That's a IBM Model M, the keyboard I have. A buckling spring keyboard. I have a feeling IBM Model M's cost an absolutely stupid amount of money if you wanted to buy one from people, but I had one in the attic. But I've only got Borderlands 2 and I'm not a big fan of it. I actually like the old Prince of Persia series, like the Prince of Persia trilogy, which was made by the people who went on to make Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed was originally meant to be a Prince of Persia game. I've got Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3 and Demon Souls on my PS3. I've played and completed all of those, but I don't know how good that would be for streaming. Yeah, I'm a bit of an elitist when it comes to games. I haven't actually played The Forest. That's one of those survival crafting type ones, isn't it? So I'd absolutely hate it. Any of those sort of crafting games, like people keep asking me to play 7 Days to Die, and I actually bought that and then couldn't get into it because I hate games with crafting mechanics that aren't obvious. Yeah, I don't think anybody in the past foresaw mechanical keyboards becoming really popular again, but I think it's just because most modern keyboards are crap. Saying that, you can get those like Cherry MX or whatever they're called keyboards, can't you? Which are modern type things. Don't think I've listened to any Norwegian black metal. Payday 2's not installed. That was a game that I used to like until they kept ruining it with patches. Peach, have you played the original Prince of Persia games? You can download them for free now, actually. Like, not even like copyright breaking free, but literally free. There's one where they've included it with a DOSBox emulator and everything, so you don't even have to set up, you can just play it. But I completed a while ago Prince of Persia 1, which is very frustrating because it's so hard. That was good. I didn't bother replaying Prince of Persia 2 or the Prince of Persia 3D, but then I went to Sands of Time, Warrior Within, Two Thrones, then played Sands of Time again because Sands of Time is so good. Haven't played Hunt Down a Freeman, I know it's awful, but I have no interest in giving them money and playing it, so I won't. Queen hasn't really done anything for the UK because she's a figurehead, not an actual politician. I like Weapon Collector's stuff a lot. There's lots of channels I'm subscribed to, but I don't regularly watch all their videos, that's the problem. There's things like Hickok45 and Forgotten Weapons. I watch their videos when they do a, you know, like when they do videos on particular guns I really like, but there's not all that many channels I watch all their videos, to be honest. But yeah, I think the stream's been going for just about an hour now, so I'll probably call that a day. And as said, as from tomorrow, when I next do a stream, I don't think I'll be doing a stream tomorrow, but as of when I next do a stream, I should have my new microphone, which should sound much, much better to everybody. I don't actually watch any really big YouTubers, because most of them are quite sell-out-ish, where, you know, not all of them, obviously, like I said, I like Hickok. But like I was saying, yeah, the problem is I have with a lot of big YouTubers is they're just on purposely controversial to get views, which is something I never do. I'd rather stay at the amount of views I'm at now, and make content I believe I'm making that's, you know, correct, rather than on purposely, you know, I'm not going to name any particular channels when I say they're sellout sort of things, but I'm sure you know what I mean, where, you know, there's sort of the channels where, rather, like, they originally make good videos, and then when they decide they get more views by making clickbait, they only make clickbait. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and next time I do a stream, I should have a much better quality microphone, so you can hear all the problems with my voice. Alright, cheers, thanks Vladimir. Right, bye everybody, thanks for watching the stream, and I'll see you on the next video when I next do a stream.